More solidified as a starter, Joey. Defensive back version. Tyler Strain at corner or Demetrius Hill at safety? I'm going Strain.
Yeah, I am too. The thing that my hold up, when Brett Bielema was asked about the newcomers at Media Day and he was talking about Prince Ford, he made it, and remember, they got Prince Ford in the summer. This wasn't a pre-spring edition. He said, we were looking to add another corner. And it's like, okay, was that a depth piece? Did you not like what was there in terms of what you could, who could contribute this year? Like, that's where I kind of get held up. But I think in my mind, I think in a lot of minds, when you talk about that, like you immediately go to starter, and Brett Bielema at times is thinking gunner on punt return, right? Or something like that. So like I think it's Strain. I do think
we learned that with Prather Hudson, I believe.
Oh my good God.
In Max Rosenthal is what we learned that with. Yeah, I'm going with Strain because I've seen it. I get it. Demetrius Hill, freshman All-American. It's a great headline, gets everybody excited. This guy's gonna be a star right away. I think he's got more competition, to be honest with you. Like Nicario, we are going to slate Matthew Bailey and Xavier Scott as two starters, right? Like that's how we feel. Matthew Bailey, whether it's strong or free, and Xavier Scott at nickel. Like that's how I feel it's going to be. So that means Demetrius Hill has got to fend off Nicario Harper, who was here in the spring, and Clayton Bush, who obviously Brett Bielema cannot speak enough about. Again, I don't know whether it's to be a backup and a gunner on special teams or whatever it is, but he speaks highly of him. So this is like the most intense competition I think there's going to be. Like for me, it's offensive line and then the safety spot. At corner, Prince Ford, Caleb Patterson, JUCO corners are brought in to compete. Strain was really good last year when he played. And he looked good in the spring when we saw him. But he had 172 snaps. It's a Pro Football Focus grade for take it for what it's worth, but 82 Pro Football Focus grade, was third on the defense last year. Small sample size, but still big enough that it matters. 9 receptions on 18 targets, 2 interceptions, 2 pass breakups. He's not tall, doesn't have a lot of height to him, but he plays like Taz. He's got that demeanor to him. He breaks well on the ball. He's got great speed. He's got some production and experience. My concern with Taz and Strain is injury. Those guys have had some injury history. That's why I think it's important to have Prince Ford, Caleb Patterson, Elijah McCantos, these freshmen who are coming in. But Strain looked good in the spring. He looked good when he was on the field last year. I thought, better than even Xavier Scott was on the field last year. Now, he had a year of experience on him, but I'll go Strain because I think Demetrius Hill's got a battle on his hands.
And with you, Strain also looked noticeably bulked up.
Yep.
Which was like he came in and he's like, oh, this guy's like got track speed. I remember that was his commitment deal. Like this dude's super, super fast. And he is, but now he looks like bulked up and looks a little bit more like a Big Ten starter. I'll say, look, if like a guy like Prince Ford comes in and wins this job in fall camp, is that bad news for Illinois?
No.
I mean, the guy got here in the summer. So if he comes in and from the summer to September 2nd wins the job over Tyler Strain, who we know looked good every time we've seen him since really that Purdue game when he got in, I don't think that's bad news for Illinois. I don't know that I expect it. Yeah. I expect Strain to win that, but like that, they're starting to add depth there. And like you needed that.
And that's what they do with these JUCO guys and transfers. They seem to look for more for depth than like these stars that fans get really excited about outside of quarterback. All right, I want you to write the next answer on a piece of paper. Do you have a piece of paper by you, Joey?
How little do you think of me professionally?
I'm making you do. Hey, sometimes we don't need it any day. You got a notes app, you're fine. Because I'm really interested to see who you pick here. So besides quarterback, the most important backup on the team is blank.
You skipped over the little rundown we had. That's why I thought we were going to do.
Oh, sorry. I'll get to that question next.
Oh, gosh.
You have that answer ready? Besides quarterback, the most important backup on the team is.
This is stupid that I wrote.
Where I need the Jeopardy music.
I'm not thrilled about this. Give me one. Hold on. I should have prepared.
I'll let you think about that. And then I'll ask you this question while you're thinking about it. Gut feel, who's the backup quarterback?
Donovan Leary. I say that, but what happens if it's like an Iowa game from last year again, and you're like, you got a chance at home to make a statement where you are in the West. Do you put Donovan Leary out there, or do you go to John Paddock, who started 12 games last year?
That's the hard part about this schedule. I was thinking about this. Like, the hard part about this schedule is you don't have like a Charleston Southern on it. You don't have an Eastern Illinois on it. Where in that first game, get your feet wet, feel good about yourself, get these backups in. Maybe Toledo if everything goes great, but that's the MAC champion. I think it's like Toledo would probably beat Northwestern. Toledo would have a chance at Purdue. I mean, they got a chance against Illinois. Florida Atlantic is the weakest opponent probably on paper. Tom Herman's an interesting coach there. They always have some athletes, but I think Illinois will dominate in the trenches. But you don't have the chance to get Donovan Leary in there. You don't have a chance to get some of these younger guys in there. So that's the hard part about this schedule. So I think that's a great question, Joey. Are you willing? It's based on probably what they see in practice, that's for sure. But for that reason, I'd probably side with Paddock early in the season. But Donovan Leary got almost all the second team reps during spring.
I think there's a difference between the backup who takes the snaps from the backup center before the game and who goes out there in the middle of a Big Ten West race if you need one. Like, I think for everything we see in warmups, we'll probably say Donovan Leary, right? Like, I think there's a lot there. Like, they really, really like him. I think he's improved a lot. I know he's got 4 years of eligibility. Like, and I think John Paddock might get it. Like, he might get it. But, like, I just wonder what happens when it's back against the wall and you got a chance to make that statement. If you've got to go with someone else, who do you go with?
You just need somebody to compete, or do you need somebody to go win a game? It's an interesting question. It's an interesting question. I don't know. Barry Lunny and Brett Bielema have said great things about Donovan Leary. I think Paddock, you know what he is. He's faced those battles, right? He's played some Power 5 teams. So that's nice to have in your back pocket. And I think it's great for the room. You going Leary? I'll go. Let's go.
I am, but I put the caveat out there. Like, I'm going Leary, but I don't know if I believe that I'm going Leary. I think it is, though.
Would you say you're leery of going Leary?
Stop it. Stop it now. It's embarrassing.
All right. Do you have your answer besides quarterback, the most important backup on the team?
I do, and I even X'd out my first answer so you know how torn I was.
Can we put this up at the same time on our computer screens?
Yep.
All right.
Same.
You gotta put your paper up because you have Declan Dooley. Okay, there you go. Said McConnell. Both of us.
I had Declan Dooley, and that's why I was like, I can't believe I'm putting a punter, but I think it said McConnell.
I actually thought Declan Dooley too. So you and I are on the same page here. I mean, the explanation's right, easy, right? If Johnny Newton or Keith Randolph gets hurt, and I think Sed would be the guy behind Johnny. Most importantly, you need somebody that can play, and they're so young at the 3 technique, so inexperienced. But Sed McConnell, his third season here at Illinois. We've heard from Terrence Jameson; he's taken a big leap. And to be honest with you, they need somebody that can rotate in there. They need somebody who can take 100 snaps from Johnny Newton, because I know how hard it is to take him off the field, but they need somebody that they can have Johnny Newton ready for the fourth quarter. Because let's be honest, the pass rush really struggled in the fourth quarter last year, and part of the reason the defense gave up some points late in the game. So I think Sed McConnell, have a defensive rotation like that, defensive line rotation is really important. Then you got to think of the future too. Sed McConnell's probably a starter next year.
Yep, all those reasons. They need him to be somebody who can be in the rotation, because there's not a lot there. I mean, you got Bryce Barnes would be in that mix, Denzel Daxon, but it's not the same. Sed McConnell can play the 3 technique. I don't think that's where they or can play nose. I don't know if they envision him there, Jeremy.
3 tech.
Man,
he'd be a great 3 tech. Like that's
yes. Sorry,
ideal.
Yeah.